When it comes to the merc with the mouth, weaknesses are few and far between. Unless you count looking fantastic in a skin-tight suit as a shortcoming, you'll be hard-pressed to find much about Deadpool that isn't the epitome of awesome. He's an anti-hero with a penchant for violence, but Deadpool is light years away from your friendly neighborhood anything. As you may have guessed, taking down one of Marvel's most iconic superheroes won't be easy, but it is possible. CBR loves Deadpool. You love Deadpool. It's a big old Deadpool love fest, and you don't want to miss out on the newest Deadpool content. Hit that subscribe button and keep up to date with us.
People react to news of late-stage cancer differently. There are certainly options we can look into. New drugs are being developed every day.
A cure for cancer. In the comic book world, there are no rules. It's a medium in which the troubles of the real world can be erased and solutions can be found for any problem. In universes where superpowered beings exist, medical science has developed well beyond what we know. That means life-threatening ailments aren't always a dead-end road. If you believe a man can fly, you should be cool with a cure for cancer. Brought up through foster care, Wade Wilson was a tragic figure.
The ninjas stole my mama. Nick Fury saw my awesome, took me in, suckled me on the sweet milk of justice. Ew.
He later becomes a killer for hire and is forced to leave his girlfriend Vanessa behind after being diagnosed with terminal cancer. As the masked Deadpool, Wilson possesses the ability to rapidly heal, but his cancer does not disappear. Instead, he develops a form of super cancer, with his body constantly creating new cells to replace those destroyed by his illness. If Deadpool's cancer were to somehow be cured, his new cells would continue to produce, eventually leading to horrible growths that could cause him to explode. It happened in the comics once during the One of Us story arc, where Skrull warriors are shown blowing up after gaining Deadpool's healing ability.
And you, chicken noodle, nothing compares to you. Sinead O'Connor, 1990, sorry.
That's all right. You're cool.
Children. Although Wade Wilson may act like the morally flexible hero without limits, the truth of the matter is he's actually really just a great big softie on the inside. As evidence, we present to you Exhibit A, the children. Wilson's life growing up was complicated to say the least. His parents were abusive in more ways than most would like to imagine. Although Deadpool has admitted he doesn't always remember his past, perhaps some of his leftover thoughts were enough to impact the way he sees younger members of society. On many occasions, the merc can be seen going out of his way to remove children from harm's way, and at times he's even been a shoulder to cry on. Another motivator for Deadpool's leniency towards kids could be his own daughter Ellie, the result of a hero's fling with a woman named Carmelita Camacho. After learning of Ellie's existence, he protected her from the terrorist group Ultimatum. Eventually, he was able to rescue her, and she was adopted by S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Emily Preston following her mother's death. Who said a murderous superhero with an R-rated sense of humor can't be a great father?
That does it! Oh! Canada!
Gluttony. To chimichanga or not to chimichanga? That is the question. The deep-fried dish popular in the southern US and Mexico has become part of Deadpool's catchphrases, but in Cable and Deadpool, it was finally revealed that the food item wasn't as dear to the mercenary's heart as fans always imagined. In fact, according to the anti-hero, he just loves saying the word, while he finds the gooey, cheesy deliciousness of the food itself to be subpar at best. Still, chimichangas aren't the only food he's made a big deal about over the years. He's also shown quite a liking for pancakes and tacos. How much of a problem is overeating for the loudmouth superhero? In Night of the Living Deadpool, our protagonist wakes up to a world overrun by zombies after slipping into a self-induced food coma inside a Mexican restaurant. If it was chimichangas on his plate, which he claims to not even like that much, then you know he has a problem. Of course, feeding someone so much that they become drowsy and fall asleep isn't the most practical way to get the one-up over them, but it's definitely one way to go about it.
Well, I want to remember us.
I swear to God, I will find you in the next life, and I'm gonna boombox Careless Whisper outside your window. Wham!
Kittens. Okay, first things first, let's be candid for a moment. Who among us doesn't have a soft spot for kittens? The little balls of fur have taken over the internet. They're the perfect distraction when you're down, and they can instantly put you back in the butt-kicking spirit, even if you're more of a dog person. Anyone who likes kittens is A-okay in our book, so it goes without saying that this weakness makes Deadpool a bit more likable. The merc has called kittens his only true weakness. The little guys have made such an impact that their adorableness has rendered his swords useless. In the Magic of Gracking storyline, such power can be seen when a woman showers the hero in the meowing felines. He tries brushing them away, but they cling to his arms as he attempts to continue his business. Noted Hollywood actor Ryan Reynolds has also joined in on the love in the past. He took to his Facebook page to post himself in superhero gear, shrouded in cats as he tries his most intimidating pose for charities. Something tells us that if Reynolds can't overcome the cat sensation, the Merc is gonna have a hard time too.
Time to undo what you did to this butterface.
You should thank me. Apparently I made you immortal. I'm actually quite jealous.
Yeah, but this ain't a life worth living, is it?
ADHD. Apart from his overall lunacy and keenness for the appropriately timed crude joke, some readers have speculated that Deadpool may suffer from a severe form of ADHD, thereby explaining his inability to focus. Take his constant fourth wall breaks, for example. If someone with a brain disorder heard voices, they may respond by trying to ignore the people in their head, but not Deadpool. For him, the voices are the readers, and he'll actually take the time out of his busy schedule to give you an update on the latest happenings in his life. As someone with a lot on his plate, Wilson always makes sure to stop and smell the roses. Whether he's drawing a picture with crayons before a big fight or offering up a pop culture reference for your consideration, the hero is never too preoccupied to stop and chat. With such a hyperactive mind, a villain can easily gain advantage with the right distraction. Maybe some really cool hip-hop music would do the trick, or perhaps a shiny piece of jewelry. Either way, that moment of inattention during a critical fight is bound to happen, and when it does, it's best to strike when the iron's hot.
Call me Deadpool. It rhymes with no school. Too cool, ain't no fool, and I'm the best that there is at what I do. Cool. Moving on!
Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. Two heroes, the best at what they do, will forever be pitted against one another because of their not-so-nice personas and healing abilities. They've fought in many top-notch brawls, but in the end, neither has come out on top. The pair have dueled many times in the Marvel Universe, including in Cable and Deadpool. Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, and in several Wolverine titles. Yet things took a turn for the worst when Hollywood decided to sew a certain character's mouth shut and put him in a fight against the Clawed Mutant. X-Men Origins Wolverine was by all accounts a disaster. Not quite as bad as Green Lantern, but still brutal to endure. Still, nothing infuriated fans more than seeing Ryan Reynolds' mouth close during his fight with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Reynolds hasn't forgiven the diss by the writers of the movie, nor did he let up on his co-star of the film, making sure to get his jabs in when Deadpool hit theaters. Still, the Wolverine-Deadpool fight rages on, and until the wrongs have been righted, the chiseled Hugh Jackman continues to be a lingering shadow for Reynolds and his superhero persona.
Marco, get out!
The Muramasa Blade. Now that we've talked about Wolverine, how about covering a weapon that only comic book minds could think up? The Muramasa Blade. The sword was forged for Wolvie by the Japanese swordsman Muramasa, using a part of the hero's soul to give the weapon great power. In a fight against Sabretooth, the X-Man would use the instrument of death to cut off the enemy's right arm. Failing to reattach his severed limb, Sabretooth would be decapitated mere seconds later. So with all the hubbub about the Clawed Mutant, what's Deadpool got to do with all of this? After all, Wade Wilson never came into contact with the Muramasa Blade. Still, Wolverine claims it's the only weapon that can effectively end his life without him respawning in a future issue. If that's true and the weapon is indeed the immortal killer, it's certainly enough to stop Deadpool in his tracks as well. While Wilson's carbonadium katanas have shown signs of slowing down the healing process, they pale in comparison to Wolverine's personal key to victory. That's why we're going out on a limb and say that this is the one item Deadpool hopes to never be on the receiving end of.
Come here, you. How are the kids? Good? And Gail, she's still fixing that tuna casserole? So good. Oh, but bad for the waistline if you know what I'm talking about.
Deadpool. Here's a hypothetical scenario for you. Let's say you're an immortal assassin with regenerative healing powers who can slice and dice your way through pretty much anyone you want. Who's the only person on Earth capable of stopping you? That doozy of a question isn't so easy. Some might say Wolverine stands a chance, but that matchup hasn't worked out so well for Logan thus far. The more likely candidate, then, would have to be Dead to the Pool himself. So exactly how would Deadpool battle himself? After encountering the psychotically obsessed Dr. Whitby, who's been collecting Deadpool's dismembered body parts in her fridge, the hero comes into contact with a conscienceless version of himself made up of the spare parts, appropriately named Evil Deadpool. Although he manages to kill him off, the Frankenpool monster is later resurrected. In the pages of Deadpool Kills Deadpool, the Merc with a Mouth meets the evil Deadpool Corps. A scheming team of alternate Deadpools are convinced by another nihilistic version of the hero named Dreadpool to kill the original Wade Wilson. Needless to say, things get sticky as the protagonist slashes his way through his many nefarious clones.
I am sorry, you are haunting. Your face is the stuff of nightmares. You will die alone.
Bovine of Phobia, coulrophobia. Bovine of Phobia is the fear of cows. Yeah, you read that right. Just like the merc with a mouth who is deadly afraid of cattle. That's because to him, they not only make good burgers, but they also have a death stare unlike any other animal on the planet. Essentially, they scare the poop emoji out of Deadpool. They could appear soulless, looking at you with evil intent, almost like they're waiting for you to make a mistake so they can make their move. Something so abnormally calm can go unnoticed, and when you least expect, that's when they'll get you. In addition to this less common phobia, Deadpool has also admitted he's afraid of clowns, called coulrophobia, calling them the greatest threat to Earth after Galactus. In one Cable and Deadpool storyline, he slaughters many of them, in a Deadpool kind of way. Of course, his distaste for the makeup-wearing entertainers is warranted. Everyone knows they've done nothing but mutilate or maim everyone in their paths, which is why so many horror movies have focused on the bloodthirsty creatures.
I'm gonna wait out here, okay? It's a big house. It's funny that I only ever see two of you. It's almost like the studio couldn't afford another X-Man.
The writers. Ask the fans what makes Deadpool such a standout among his comic book peers, and some say his witty jokes or mental instability. But above all else, it's his fourth wall breaking. Unlike the other heroes of his universe, Deadpool has a keen sense of his surroundings. He's so acutely aware of his own existence that he can trace his origins back to the writer's room. He addresses his audience frequently, treating them as guests. He's even threatened their lives in the past, but if there's anyone with whom he truly has a bone to pick, it's the people behind the scenes. In Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, Wade Wilson knocks off all the heavyweights of the Marvel world, taking the bloodbath to the likes of Wolverine, the Hulk, and pretty much anyone you can think of.
I never say this, but don't swallow.
But his real battle comes at the end, when he stumbles upon the writer's room right in the middle of their creative process. They're the ones who wrote the story, who forced Deadpool to take death to the doorstep of all the iconic Marvel figures, and it's ultimately them he must stop to bring an end to his tale. Seeing as how the anti-hero is still going strong, this is one fight he has yet to actually win.
That was not mean. I'm proud of you.
We will make an X-Men of you yet. Wait.
What other weaknesses or shortcomings does the merc with a mouth have? He's a little crazy, so I'm sure we've missed a few. Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. We hoped you liked it. Be sure to join the CBR notification squad to stay up to date with our latest videos.